What's the dumbest rule you had in school? No one was allowed to have or say the word Dr. Pepper because it was the password to a shared browser's account the administration found out about. We couldn't wear winter clothing in class. Coats, gloves, hats. Even with the heat on, it got cold in the winter inside the school, so we just had to freeze. They said it was because winter clothing were gang symbols. This was a farm town in Wisconsin. We could not touch each other. All physical contact was banned. There was one teacher that claimed if it wasn't for this rule, we would all be running around ROing each other. Yes, truly the time of my life. In primary school, we weren't allowed to put our rubbish from our lunches in the bin. I distinctly remember being in an assembly, where the head teacher said your lunchbox is your bin. I mean, did she think the bins were for decoration? So stupid. When I was in high school, taking my second year of photography class, everyone was called into the auditorium for an assembly. It was to announce that cameras were no longer allowed to be used on campus due to privacy issues. This was about 2 weeks after the school had installed security cameras everywhere in the school. The boys weren't allowed to wear shorts at my middle school, but the girls could wear culottes, basically shorts with a fancy name. One day about 100 boys came to school wearing culottes. The man had it stuck to him hard that day. In second grade, only one boy and one girl were allowed to go to the bathroom at a time. I had to pee so bad that I was shaking and this kid took a stupid amount of time to get back. He finally came back and I had to wait in a line to his desk and he finally said I could go. Peed myself on the way there. F you, Mr. Benish. My middle school banned hugs. At least, they banned front hugs. The rule was against chest-to-chest contact, regardless of context or gender. No chest bumps after a game. Several girls got in trouble for hugging their female friends goodbye after school. It was a strange place. Edit. To clarify, this was a public school in a suburban area in a liberal part of the country US. I don't remember whether there was a ban against hugs from behind. I'll try to ask some old classmates when I get home and update if any of them remember. School mandated haircuts. Edit. Wow. This blew up. It was only for the boys, by the way. For the girls, so long as you didn't color your hair other than its natural hair color, you were good. Checkup was every Monday, when we were lined up, according to height, for the flag ceremony because the school president wanted to share all the good news with us, which ranged from positive events, to one of their staff and students winning awards, etc. The prefect was very strict about it, but the teachers weren't, so we'd just skip mornings every few Mondays so we didn't have to get a haircut. No colored shoelaces. Apparently it was a sign of gang affiliation. No toe shoes. It looked too much like you were wearing only socks. No eating outside the cafeteria. This was to reduce litter in the hallways, but our school cafeteria could only fit 100-ish people, so everyone ignored it. They tried enforcing it by guarding the cafeteria doors so those buying lunch couldn't leave, but then people just stopped buying school lunch. Edit. For clarification. No Simpsons anything. This was when it premiered, and there was this national scare that Bart was a bad influence. There were two popular Bart shirts that were banned. One that said "I'm Bart Simpson. Who the hell are you?" and another that said "Bart Simpson, underachiever and proud of it." This eventually evolved into banning all Simpsons shirts, school supplies, stickers, etc. after some of the teachers started watching the show. In elementary school, we couldn't kick a ball at recess because the school was afraid we would kick the balls to the top of the building. In primary school, we weren't allowed to use erasers. We were never told why. My niece recently got in trouble for using an eraser in kindergarten. The school made a really big deal about it and my brother and Sil could not understand what their issue was. They were saying stuff like the teacher wanted to check what the error or mistake was before she erased it. My niece said when she would raise her hand and ask to be allowed to erase it, the teacher would make her feel stupid in front of the class about whatever the error was. Needing to wait 10 minutes before and after classes have started to use the restroom. My adolescent body with developing Crohn's disease did not take kindly to this rule, and got into fights with the bathroom monitor often. Someone who would make sure nobody was in the bathroom for too long doing DS, having other things of the sort. Thankfully the principal had a heart of gold and gave me a special pass to use his personal private bathroom, which was so nice and clean. In a high school of 5,000 teenagers, being able to poop in peace at the rate you go with Crohn's disease made my life somewhat less pun intended. No balls over the diameter of 1.4 feet. My school was weirdly accurate. We still brought in footballs. No balls over 1 foot. Brought in smaller footballs. No balls over 10 centimeters. Brought in tennis balls. No balls over 5 cams. Pelted the windows with our dad's golf balls. Eventually got removed due to the fact that the word ball could be misinterpreted. Exclamation point. In 3rd grade we had to have playmates. It basically meant that we couldn't play with our friends on the breaks recess. We had to play in a group. That group was filled with students from other classes too. Not fun. Our school banned black socks. It was a public high school in a predominantly poor neighborhood, so the parents didn't give a s and bought whatever socks were cheapest or didn't have the money to buy all brand new socks again. It got to a point where we'd have whole school assemblies on it and the teachers threatening to suspend kids from school for wearing black socks. No one could wear Joe's Crab Shack shirts. At first it was just the tie-dye ones that said, peace, love and crabs. Because of the implication of sex and pubic L, I suppose. It was a stretch. But then they expanded to any Joe's Crab Shack shirts. My friend had to wear a pay shirt all day because her shirt was a Joe's Crab Shack shirt. It didn't have offensive slogan on it. It just had a picture of a crab and the restaurant's name. She still had to change shirts. She was so embarrassed because no one wants to wear your pay shirt all day. Clear or mesh backpacks only. This was from 1st grade through high school in the late 90s to early 2000s. We also had to wear a safety vest as our bathroom pass in high school. It was such a joke that the first year the rule was introduced, our yearbooks were a giant safety vest on the outside. Honestly, the thought of a shared unisex safety vest for bathroom visits still grosses me out, as I know those things were never washed properly. Halfway through 8th grade they decided to ban all beverages including water from use by 8th graders. A couple of kids brought V in a water bottle to school and they decided the best option was no liquids at all. We couldn't even bring in sealed beverages or unopened cans because they could have been tampered with. Buses were not allowed to depart at the end of the school day until the flag on the flagpole outside the main entrance had been taken down and properly put away. If someone forgot, all the buses would sit there idling for as long as it would take until the flag was dealt with. Imagine being a bus driver trying to keep a schedule and being like, sorry guys, the flag wasn't down, I couldn't leave the school when they were late to their next route. In middle school, had a stupid as all hell one-way hallway system, where students could only walk in the halls one direction. Made me late twice actually, since my class was the first one behind the exit door, but forced to go in the entrance door. Was enforced even when halls were empty. One stick in the mud teacher threatened to write me up if I questioned the rule. Went to a Catholic school where there was a big white line painted across the schoolyard, and during recess boys played on one side and girls on the other. We were not allowed to intermingle during recess even though we weren't separated during class or lunch. I'm a guy and all my friends were girls, so we used to stand at the line and talk. Go in trouble many times for that. Hair couldn't be extreme, colored or past earlobes for guys, as it would be considered a distraction to others. I had long hair past my shoulders and would not cut it. Was in ISS a lot. It's a silly thing to get detention for. Kids don't go to school to be told how to dress and how they should look. I remember how much of an impact the Breakfast Club movie had on me in my junior high days. You are not allowed to have fake pockets. For no reason. Out of the blue, just a new rule. In homeroom the teacher would check to see if you have any fake pockets. The rule is no longer enforced, but a teacher still have the power to enforce it. Then the same school banned Spanish one day. It was a detention if someone said a Spanish word at my school. Teachers can give you demerits for what they deem bad, which led to one teacher giving out 2 demerits. 4 demerits is a detention for any made up words. The reasoning was that we would sometimes substitute made up words for our swears, so someone would say what the fluker, or just say a random sounds out of boredom. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, drop a like and subscribe. Please check out more of our videos or our playlist. It is perfect for when you want background noise or to put on when you are falling asleep. Once again, thank you and have a great day.